Mount Rushmore by Thomas Kingsley Troop. Illustrated by Matthew Skeens. Welcome to Mount Rushmore National Memorial. I'm William, a park ranger here. Mount Rushmore is a beautiful symbol of freedom and democracy in the United States. Let's learn its history. The Lakota Sioux originally called Mount Rushmore Six Grandfathers before it was renamed. Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is located in the Black Hills of South Dakota. While exploring in 1885, New York lawyer Charles E. Rushmore asked what the mountain was called. His guide suggested they call it Rushmore. The original plan. In 1923, South Dakota historian Doane Robinson wanted to get people to visit the Black Hills. He imagined giant statues of heroes from the American West. The statues would be part of the rocky peaks in the Black Hills known as the Needles. Robinson thought Americans would travel to see the figures from U.S. history. In the beginning, his idea had nothing to do with Mount Rushmore. That would soon change. Robinson wanted the face of Red Cloud to be carved into one of the needles. Red Cloud was a successful Lakota leader from the mid-1800s. But first, Robinson needed to find an artist with a grand vision. The Sculptor. In August of 1924, sculptor Gutzon Borglum received a letter. In it, Robinson asked Borglum if he would like to make a heroic sculpture of unusual character. Within a month, Borglum traveled to South Dakota to meet Robinson. Borglum imagined carving figures from U.S. history. He drew sketches of his plans. Robinson agreed. But when Borglum checked the location, plans changed. The needles were too weak to withstand the carving of large sculptures. Some people did not want the needles to be carved at all. They believed the natural rock should be left alone. A better location. Borglum decided Mount Rushmore, just northeast of the Needles, was the best location for the monument. The granite there was strong enough for the work ahead. Mount Rushmore had one of the highest peaks in the Black Hills area. It also stayed well lit throughout most of the day. American history shall march along that skyline, Borglum said. The granite on Mount Rushmore erodes, or wears away, only 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters, every 10,000 years. The Four Presidents. Borglum wanted to carve the faces of 4 U.S. presidents into Mount Rushmore. He chose George Washington, the first U.S. president. He also chose Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president. Jefferson wrote most of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th U.S. president, was chosen because of his efforts to complete the Panama Canal. Borglum also chose Abraham Lincoln, the 16th U.S. president. Lincoln led the United States through the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, and started the process that would end slavery in the nation. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. Theodore Roosevelt, who became friends with Gutzon Borglum, died in 1919. That was 8 years before work on Mount Rushmore began. Kaboom! After years of planning, the carving of Washington's face began on October 4th, 1927. Dynamite was used to clear rock away from the mountain until just a layer of granite remained. About 450,000 tons, 405,000 metric tons of rock were blasted from the mountainside. Today, the pieces are still scattered below the carved faces. The last layer of rock was worked away using a process called honeycombing. Workers drilled holes 1 to 6 inches, 2.5 to 15.2 centimeters deep, and about 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters apart. Then they shaped the stone using very sharp hand tools. Mountain carvers. Although Borglum was a famous sculptor, he didn't carve the faces of Mount Rushmore. Instead, crews of men were hired to shape the rock. The work was often difficult. The summer sun made the granite very hot to work with. During winter, the men worked until severe cold forced them to stop. More than 400 people worked on Mount Rushmore. Workers also faced many dangers. They had to use dynamite. At times, they dangled from the mountainside while using tools that weighed nearly 60 pounds, 27 kilograms. The work was tough and dangerous, but the pay was good at the time. A carver was paid $1.25 an hour. Dedication. The sculpture of George Washington was dedicated on July 4, 1930. That was 2 years and 9 months after work on Mount Rushmore began. Women from Rapid City, South Dakota, sewed a giant flag to cover Washington's face until it was revealed at the dedication. It measured 39 feet, 11.9 meters, by 70 feet, 21.4 meters. Thomas Jefferson's sculpted face was dedicated in August 1936. President Franklin Roosevelt was in attendance. On September 17, 1937, the sculpture of Abraham Lincoln's face was dedicated. The date marked the 150th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution. Theodore Roosevelt's sculpted face was dedicated on July 2, 1939. Looking over the land. In March of 1941, Gutzon Borglum died. His son, Lincoln, was asked to oversee the work on Mount Rushmore. Because money ran out, work on Mount Rushmore ended on October 31, 1941. The entire project took 14 years and cost nearly $1 million to complete. Despite the dangerous work, not one worker died during the sculpting of Mount Rushmore. Each of the Mount Rushmore faces is more than 3 times taller than the Statue of Liberty's face. Each president's face is 60 feet, 18.3 meters tall. The Statue of Liberty's face is 17 feet, 5.2 meters tall. Mount Rushmore now has nearly 3 million visitors each year. It is a symbol of freedom and democracy. It also reminds us of the American spirit. It proves that not even a mountain can stop a grand vision. I hope you enjoy learning about Mount Rushmore's history. Come visit us soon.